So first we need to choose the region. Choose the availability zone. Then choose the AMI. What is AMI? What is AMI?
Amazon image.
Amazon?
Amazon machine image.
Yes. So Amazon mission image. So what is AMI? Amazon mission image, right? So in virtualization, we already installed the VM, right? Something like we installed the OVM OVM, then we install the OS, right?
Yes.
Install the which OS you installed? Something like CentOS
7.
Yeah, CentOS 7 we installed. So the same way Amazon AWS also, Amazon console also. So they created the AMI. This is one type of AMI. Something like this is a template. This is like a template file. So this is which extension of this file? vmdk, right? .vmdk file. So .vdi file, I think. .vdf file. So this template file, take this template file and keep it as a AWS console portal. So a template is nothing but a AMI, Amazon mission image. So a template is nothing but a AMI, Amazon mission image. So they're installing somewhere and take it as a AMI. Take it as a AMI. Something like here. The same way they are installed the virtual machine images, for example. So this is the red hat 7 AMI. Something like that. This is the template. This is the template. The same way a Windows Server 2000 2012, something like this is also one type of a template. So template is nothing but a AMI. Something like a Ubuntu 16.0 or 20.0. So Ubuntu. So this is also a template. A template is nothing but a in perspective of Amazon, it is a AMI. So this is a AMI. This is the AMI. This is the AMI. This is the AMI. It's already installed. Installed the OS. So how it quickly came? Something like within 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. So we took the template. We took the already installed OS template. We took that and we launched that. So that's the reason it is coming. A 3 minutes or 2 minutes. How much time it will? So it took to install the OS, guys?
30 minutes on, sorry.
Sorry?
In the physical, you say the physical or what?
Yeah, in virtual. So you
virtual.
already installed, right? Something like it took around 30 minutes to 30 to 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
30 to 40 minutes. So
Yeah.
it is already a template. It's already installed the OS. This already installed the OS and taken as a template, something like AMI templates. What are the AMI templates? CentOS a 7 template is nothing but a AMI, Amazon mission image. Same like as a red hat, whatever it may be. These all are the templates. I will show you guys. These all are the templates. What is this? These all are the attempt.
Confident.
Microsoft, SUSE, Ubuntu, Red Hat. The same way, these all are the templates. So all are the template. A template is nothing but a already in OS is installed on this template. OS is installed on the template and took the template and launched the instance. So that's the reason we are launching the instance within a 1 to 2 minutes. A 1 to 2 or so within 5 minutes we are launching an instance. So these are all are the AMIs. So quick start AMIs. So commonly used AMIs. So my AMIs. So something like in our virtual machine. So installed a CentOS and CentOS installed a CentOS S7, CentOS 7, 7 OS, and along with the softwares. What are the softwares? We need a Java and Tomcat. So we install the Java and Tomcat on this server. On this server, Java plus Tomcat. Java and Tomcat. So we took this template. We took this template, something like a CentOS 7. In this CentOS 7, already installed the Java and Tomcat. Something like a we need a 5 app servers. We need a 5 app servers with Tomcat and Java. Tomcat and Java. We can use this OMA. This is a customized template or AMI. So this is a customized template or customized AMI. You guys understand, right? So you want my AMIs. My AMI means created by me. So if you want, you can create your own customized image also. Something like you launched an instance. You launched an instance, and you can use that instance as a AMI. You can use that instance as a AMI. Get it, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So you already know, right? Instant type. What is the instance type? Guys, instance type. So what is instance type? Instance type is nothing but a resource of the computer. Resource of the computer. So what are the resources? Something like what is the configuration? So how you buy your mobile phone or a laptop? So you can verify the configuration, right? So configuration. Resource is nothing but configuration. Resource is nothing but a RAM, CPU. So in physical, it is a CPU. In virtual, it is called a vCPU, virtual CPU. So how much of the RAM you want? Something like a 1 GB RAM, or 2 GB RAM. So vCPUs, something like 1 vCPU, 2 vCPU, something like 3 vCPU, 4 vCPU. So these are the based on something like a I will tell you. Something like so I need a 1 GB of RAM and 1 vCPU. So that is nothing but a RAM is 1 GB. RAM is 1 GB and vCPU is so vCPU 1. That is called a T2 micro. The name call it as a T2 micro. Instance type is a T2 micro. The same way, the resources of the based on the resources, that the instance type will be changed. So based on the resources, the instance type will be changed. First, we need to select the region. Which region you want? North Virginia. Which region? A North Virginia region. So if you are not selecting any region, so which region it is taking as a default? Guys. So if you are not selecting any region, so by default it will take which region?
North Virginia.
Yes, very good. North Virginia region. Something like my my server 1. I'm taking my name as my server 1. So AMI. Now you understand, right, guys? AMI. So Amazon also created their Amazon also their own Linux that is called as a Amazon Linux. So it is a free tier. So if it is a free tier, something like select the free tier. Okay. So then instance type. What is that instance type? Based on the resources, it will be changed. Based on the resources, it will be changed. Something like a T2 micro, 1 vCPU, 1 memory is nothing but a T2 micro. T1 micro. T1 micro means 1 vCPU half GB, something like 0.512 memory of GB. Something like a T2 nano, 1 vCPU, 0.5 gig memory. T2 micro, 1 vCPU, 1 memory. T2 small, 1 vCPU, 2 GB memory. T2 medium, 2 vCPU, 4 GB memory. T2 large, 2 vCPU, 8 GB memory. T2 2x large, 8 vCPU, 32 GB memory. T2 X large, 4 vCPU, 16 GB memory. T3, so T3 nano, 2 vCPU, 0.5 memory. T3 micro, 2 vCPUs, 1 GB memory. So T3 family, this is the T2 family, T1 family, T1 family, T3 family, C family, C3 family, C2 family, C4 family. Based on the vCPU and memory, it will change the instance type. It will change the instance type. Something like, for example, Facebook, YouTube, or something like a databases. So they are using a huge amount of databases, right? So that time they are using something like a, I will show you, R5X large, something like, yeah. You see something like R6 IDX large, 4 CPU, 32, 64 CPU, 5 to R6 ID 16X large. So here 64 vCPU, 512 gig memory, 512 GB memory here they are using. So if you are using R family, if you are using T family, if you are using X family, you got it right, guys? How much of you want, you can take it as a instance type. How much of CPU and memory, how much of CPU memory you want. So and also it is a scalable and it is a elasticity and a scalable. So what is elasticity and scalable? Now you got it. What is a, so now you want a instance a type. For example, so in initially my thinking is I'm creating a WhatsApp website, WhatsApp website. So initially something like the instance type is, so initially, so the site will be accessing how many people? Initially
100 people.
something like a minimal amount of people are using the site, right? So so it gradually increasing the people, right? If the app is success, if the site is success, so something like a Facebook, initially Facebook also, so the people are very less to access the site. So nowadays, so they are accessing a lakhs, right? So this is the AWS. So this is the physical on premises means, guys, on
Physical data centers.
yes, physical data center. On premises means a physical data center. DC. DC means data center. In data center, so something like, so how they are imagined, something like they are imagining. So they are imaging something like they are imaging something like for 6 months, in between 1 to 6 months. So they are imaging something like a 1 lakh people will be sign up the WhatsApp or Facebook account. So they imagine that, and they created the physical servers along with. So along with, they are creating the physical servers, they're creating the physical servers along with. So initially something like it uses only one server, but what they imagine for 6 months, it will sustain 4 servers. It will sustain 4 servers. So from starting onwards, they will pay the money for these 4 servers. They will further. So this is a big drawback in the physical data center, a data center on a on-premises environment. In AWS, whatever the cloud, so whatever the cloud environment, something like, so first you need something like you need a T2 micro family. It is enough for 5,000 people. So 5,000 people, right? 5,000 people is something like so it will be enough for 5,000 people for T2 micro or something like T2 micro. Something like a next month they will increase the people another 5,000, so something like a 10,000 people will be adding to the next, something like a T3 family. Something like a T3 family will sustain 10,000 people. Here we have a EC2 instance, right? EC2 instance. EC2 instance type is T2 micro. I want to increase the CPU and memory value into this server. You can do it automatically. In the cloud, something like. So this will be sustain only 10,000 people. So this is the elasticity. So we can increase, we can decrease. So the same way, every something like in here. So every Saturday they are conducting a tournament for something, any gaming site. That time, so they want a 4 servers. They imagine like that, and they take that 4 servers. But these 1 server is utilizing every day. This server is utilizing every day, but these 3 servers are utilizing on only Saturday. Because of in the tournament, more people are adding into that. More people are accessing that website. That time, something like a scale up and scale down concept will be there in the animation. What is this concept? Scale up, scale up, scale down. So if something like it increases 5,000 to 10,000, it increases 5,000 to 10,000, it automatically scale up the another server. Server. So if something like it goes something like 5,000 to 10,000, so we set as a auto scaling. We set as a every 5,000 it will be scale up another instance. It will scale up another instance, something like that. So 15,000 people. If the 15,000 people, automatically another server will be scale up. If 20,000 people, the tournament will be starting 20,000 people. So the 20,000 people it will sustain. So something like 4 servers. So something like one level is completed. 5,000 people are so dropping the tournament, losing the tournament game. So now the 15,000 people is there. So then that time scale down. The scale down concept is enabled, and it will remove the 1 server. It will remove the 1 server again. So 10,000 people is started. 10,000 people. So again, so the level. So something like it will down the another server. So now 2,000 only 2 servers is there. Something like F5 people is there. So again it down the. So the second server. Now you got it right. Scale up and scale down. What is the concept? If the server is enabled, then only we can pay the amount. If the server is down, we cannot pay the amount. Here, so something like, so if the server is running, if the server is using or not, definitely we can pay the money, right? Here the concept is pay as you go. Whenever you use the server, then only you can pay the money. This is the one big advantage. This is the one big advantage in the AWS cloud environment. Now you got it right, guys? Guys, understood?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But-
So this is the instance type changing and auto scaling. Auto scaling and instance type changing. So once we launch something like this is the free time environment. So instance type key pair. So if you want to connect the server, so how you are connecting your physical server? How your virtualization server? Login as a
Use IP address and then credential.
IP address and credentials, right?
Yeah.
IP address and credentials. And so you launched as a server, you something like you started as a server in the virtual machine. So first you need to give the login as guys, login as which user?
Admin.
Root user.
Then you are giving
Password.
password. What is a password? Something like a red hat, whatever it may be. You are giving a password. But in EC2 instance, so what is the user you login in as? Login as which user? EC2.
EC2 user.
A default user is created when you launch the EC2 instance. That user, a normal user. This is not a super user. This is a normal user. Something like a root user is the super user, right?
Yeah.
Login as a EC2 instance. It's the password.
No password.
No password. So because of so there is a two ways. There is a 2 or 3 ways to log into the server. To log into
Public
the
key.
server. So one is nothing. One is you can give the password, username and password, right? The other
Yeah.
second method is, so you can give the
Public key.
public key. So third one is passwordless authentication. What is that? Passwordless authentication.
What is the difference between password authentication and password?
Yeah, something like so you launched as a one app server and one DB server. One app server and DB server. So we need a communication between app server and DB server. So something like if you sign up, you are selecting a sign up button and you are providing all the information, right?
Yeah.
So we want to store the whatever you provide the information into the database. So how they can transfer? They can transfer via passwordless authentication. They can transfer the data from app server to a DB server. App server to DB server. Now you got it. This is a passwordless authentication.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Every time
yeah.
we don't want to give
You
the
connect
password, right?
directly. Yeah.
Here they are using passwordless authentication. Got it right, guys? So
Yeah.
the way how many ways to connect the server? There's a password. One is a password based. The other one is a public key and private key based. The third one is a passwordless authentication. Passwordless authentication. Now you got it right, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah.
On your opinion, what is the best way? What is the best secure way to connect the server? What is the best between the three ones?
The best way is private key and public key. So if you are using a password, definitely hacker will hack that password, right? This is the plain text format.
Yeah.
So if you use a public key, private key,
Private key.
yeah, that is the best one. So that's the reason every cloud, if you want to connect any instance or VM on any cloud, we need a public or a private key. Public key is using for a shell to shell, a Linux to Linux environment. So
Okay.
something like if you want to log into the server from a Windows to Linux. So Windows to Linux, how you are connecting? Windows to
You can use a HHS client like
yeah,
mobile stream or
mobile
Putty.
mobile stream or putty. So from mobile stream or putty, we need a private key to connect to the server.
Yeah.
So if you use a public key, you can connect from Linux to Linux environment. So different cross platform, something like a cross platform, you can use. We can use cross platform.
Private key.
Private
Yes,
key.
yes. Very good. Very good. You guys understand. You guys understand very well. So this is the yeah. So this is the a cross platform. What is this? This is the cross
Platform.
platform. So if you are using a cross platform Windows to Linux, so we can use the a private key. We can use the a private key, right?
Yeah.
Something like we can use a tool called putty tool. Putty tool act as a SSH. SSH. So when you launch a server, so when you log in as a server, it comes a shell prompt. It comes how you interact with that server. So you are interacting with the server from a shell prompt. You are interacting with the server from a shell prompt. Yes, 1 second. I will show you on diagram. Are you reading this document? Are you practicing, guys? No, right?
No, I wasn't feeling well, so I'm just gonna start tonight.
Okay. Yeah. So where you installed your OS in the hardware, right? So in the
Yeah.
hardware, we install the OS. So OS, the heart of the computer, heart of the hardware is something like a processor, right? i3, i5, so Intel i3 processor or something like heart of the hardware. The heart of the OS is nothing but a kernel. What is kernel is nothing but a OS. So after installing the OS, after logging to the OS, so which prompt? A shell prompt will be coming. A shell prompt will be coming. So we are doing something like this is the cell prompt, right? This is the cell prompt. In that cell prompt, we are performing our actions, whatever it may be, something like a commands or whatever it may be. So we are doing in the shell prompt. We are doing in the shell prompt, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So shell prompt. Once you log into the server, once you log into the something like the server is in US. The server is in US. Yeah, US North Virginia region. How you are connecting your server? So by using putty acting as a SSH. SSH means secure shell. So how you are interacting with your server? Through shell only. So in the so we are logging as a shell. We are connecting to the shell, and we are doing the whatever you want, something like
Administration from the shell.
Now you got it right, guys? Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got the secure shell, secure, and the putty, something like you are using as a private key, private key. So what is the format of private key? Dot ppk, dot ppk, something like my web server dot ppk. So ppk is the format. ppk is the format. So if you use a putty tool by using SSH, we can use the private key. So we can use the private key to connect to the Linux server. To connect to the my web server dot ppk. My web server dot ppk key. The same platform, something like a Linux to Linux. So Linux to Linux environment, we can use the command like this is the same platform, right?
Yeah.
Same platform. So same, if you are using a same platform, if you are using same platform, Linux to Linux environment or whatever it may be, if you are using the same platform, you can use the command ssh -i. SSH means secure shell. So we want a shell. What is -i? So -p for a port number, -p for port number, -i per, or you can use, or you cannot use the port number, -i for, so that PEM key, something like my web server dot pem, my web server dot pem. Then username. What is the username? A default username for a Linux EC2 user. Username, then IP address. IP address or host name. Host name or DNS, public DNS name also we can use. Public DNS name. Now you got it right, guys. So the way from Linux to Linux, you can use SSH-i mywebserver.pem EC2 instance. Okay. So if you are using something like, if you are using cross-platform from Windows to Linux, you can use mywebserver.ppk. Got it right, guys?
Yeah.
This is the authentication. How many types of authentications are there? One is a password by using one method, password, then private and public key method. So other method is public key. The other one is password less authentication. Now you got it right, guys. How many types of authentications are there? Password. The second one is private and public key. The third one is passwordless authentication. Passwordless.
Harry, how does the passwordless authentication works? I'm not quite sure if I did understand your explanation there.
Yeah. So passwordless authentication, something like, so this is the one Linux server. So here I generated a pub key and private key, something like a pub and private key. Okay. Pub key and private key. So here something like authorization, authorization. In the authorization, a file is there. In that authorization file, so whatever the pub key is there. So this is the authentication, right? So you are keep it in our pub key file, in the authorization key file.
What's the command to copy this key? Sorry.
So if you want a passwordless authentication, you know why you are adding this pub key into this this authorization.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
okay.
something like so
Mhm.
he knows something like this server knows. Yeah, I know the password for this server.
Oh, okay.
Got
Okay.
it right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
without password, you know the password for this file. You don't want to ask the password, right? You don't want to ask the password because I know the password. I know the password of the server.
Okay.
It automatically log in. Now you got it right, guys.
Yeah.
So so does that mean now that before you log in into the second server, you have to log in first into the first server before you can access the second server? Is that how the configuration works?
Yeah. So why I am telling you passwordless authentication, something like so we need a communication between app server and DB server. For example,
Okay. Yeah. So that's, yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
you understand, right? App
Yeah.
server and DB server. We need a
Yes,
communication.
you need them to become talking together. Yeah.
Yes, it automatically each together, something like so.
Yes. Yeah. Into the host, is that the host file or the
Yeah,
host name?
now you got it right.
Yes. I don't understand.
So this is the way we are connecting the server. We are connecting the server. So in the this is the which service SSH service, right? So SSHD is the service something like is running on the server. So then only you can communicate from here to something like wherever the server is there. If the SSHD service is not running, you are unable to connect the any server, something like you are unable to connect this server is this server is SSHD is stopped. This server is SSHD service is stopped. So you are unable to connect from your Windows laptop. So if the SSHD service is running, then only we can connect. Because of so how you are connecting this server through SSH, right?
Yeah.
Secure. So if you are running this service, then only we can log into that server. Otherwise, can't do. Something like so something like the password, something like a password authentication. Password authentication is disabled on this server. Which server? Something like this server. On this server, password authentication disabled. So where we need to disable?
SSH configuration.
SSH.
Configuration. SSMD config. Yeah, like you.
Yeah. So SSHD configuration file is there. In that configuration file, something like password authentication, no. So if you keep it as a password authentication, no, we are unable to access by using the password. Something like so public key authentication, public key authentication, equal to yes. So public key authentication equal to yes. Password authentication equal to no.
No.
So you can connect through only public key and private key, this server. So this server, you can connect only a public key and a private key, right? This is possible. Only password authentication is possible or not? Not possible because password authentication is disabled on the
Disabled.
configuration file. So public key authentication is enabled on the FIS file. So that's the reason we are able to log in through public and private key. Okay, I will show
Okay.
you. Now you got it right, guys. So the server, something like I'm creating a my server 1, my server Create a new key pair name. This is created through RSA PEM and private key format. The private key file format is .pem and .ppk. You could here you are seeing something like .ppk is for use with putty. For use with a putty. .pem is used with the OpenSSH. OpenSSH means something like a terminal. I have a terminal, so you can use SSH. I will show you where I can able to understand this. Yeah, you see SSH-a staging 1.pem. So something like my username and the server address. So this is the same platform, something like a same platform, Linux to Linux. I'm using a terminal. So terminal is a shell, right? From shell to shell, you can use SSH-i. So staging.pem key. From SSH to SSH, you can use PEM key. From Windows to Linux, we can use PPK. For use with putty. For use with a putty, we can use PPK. For use with OpenSSH, we can use PEM. You got it right, guys? My server 1 created. So you see, create a key file. Create a key file. Something like it created. My server 1.pem. So you can use that PEM key. You can convert it to private key. Yeah. So next network settings. So you already installed the VMware, a VMware virtual machine S7, right? So there you already configured the network. The same way here, a VPC concept is there. VPC, a virtual private cloud network, something like. So I'm using one of the company, something like IBM or whatever it may be. So in that company, they're creating a one VPC, and we are launching the instances within the VPC. Launching the instances, something like this is the company, and they're creating a one VPC for that company. One VPC for that company. What is that? Virtual private cloud. So something like virtual private cloud network. So these are VPC. So here you can create the virtual machine. Excuse me, guys. Here we are creating the instances. These are like instance. Company, so VPC, then instances. Excuse me. So company. Yeah. So VPC instances. So instances. So if you are using something like a VPC, so the CIDR block, so the IP ranges something like 192.168.4. Something like a 4.0 to 192.168.4.2. So these ranges we can use. So this is the VPC. VPC is providing a CIDR blocks. Blocks. So this is provided. So within this VPC, we can use these IP address, something like 4.1. Here we are using something like 4.1, 4.2 here, 192.168.4.1, 192.168.4.2, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, up to 255. So we can use it. This is the something like here we can use the security groups also. Security groups. So what is a security group? A security group is nothing but so if you want something like inbound and outbound rules are there. Inbound and outbound rules. Inbound rules means inbound rules means something like from web to server. So this is nothing but a inbound rules from web to server. Outbound rules means from server to web. So for server to web, something like a 443 service need to open in this, or else SSH. So which port number they are using here? So something like which port number for SSH? 22 is the
22.
port. Yeah. So you are connecting from something like somewhere else to server. So inbound services here we need to enable the 22 port number in the inbound. Something like outbound. So I want to get the pages from a server to a web browser. A server to web browser. What is the protocol they are using? HTTPS. For HTTP they are using 80.
Oh.
For HTTPS they are using 443. So this is the outbound rule. This is the inbound rule. So in the security group, they are providing the inbound and outbound rules. Now you got it right, guys. VPC, security, inbound, outbound instances. So these are the concept of EC2 instances. Now you got it right, guys. Guys, understood? Huh? Guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
And then on the SSH configuration,
Yeah.
you can decide to fix exactly only one IP, only one of allowed. You can allow only one of to access to the server, or what? Is possible?
Sorry, come again.
I say it's possible to specify the client to access the server.
Yes.
Only client to access. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason. In inbound, something like there is something like a customized a rule, something like a particular IP. If you want only that particular IP needs to enable that server, needs to connect to the server, we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I will show you in this. So this is a firewall, a security group. So it's create a security group, yellow SSH traffic from anywhere. You asked this is the question. So you asked only from my IP address, custom IP address, anywhere. So if you use 00000, so anywhere you can access the server. Something like I want to access this server from my IP address. You can use only, so you can connect your server from your IP address only. If you want to connect something like a particular range of servers, particular range of IP address only, so we can connect this server, you can use it. You can use it custom. So the same way, yellow HTTPS traffic from the internet, yellow HTTP traffic from the internet, HTTP, HTTPS. We are not selecting this. So I'm not enabling the outbound rules. I'm not enabling the outbound rules. I'm only enabling the inbound rule here only. And I'm enabling the inbound rule. So what is the configuration of the storage? Something like, so what is, when we install the OS, it automatically give 8 GB, right? So this is the 8 GB of free. And the launch instance. So launch instance, it automatically launches within something like within 1 or 2 minutes because of AMI, Amazon Mission Image already installed the OS. So acting as a template already. So that the AMI is acting as a template, but it already installed the OS on that AMI. So that is nothing but a template. That is nothing but a template. You see, my server name is my server one. So whenever we install the any instance, definitely it will get the instance ID. Definitely you will get the instance ID. So then instance state is running or a stop state or whatever the state. The same way, instance type is at T2 micro. Instance type is T2 micro. Status checks. Alarm status, availability zone. Which availability zone? It was created US East 1. Which region you created? US East 1 region we created. So in the US East region 1, we have a US East 1A, 1B, 1C. 4 availability zones are here. So this is the way. This is the way, and so you can get the details from details and security, networking and storage and status check, monitoring and tags. So monitoring. So monitoring also, if something goes wrong, so you will see on the monitoring. So this is the cloud watch. So this is the cloud watch. So you in the instances attribute, we have a attributes, instances, instance type, launch template, spot request, saving plans, reserved instances, dedicated host, scheduling instances, capacity. The same way images, AMI, somewhere elastic block storage, volume, snapshot, lifecycle manager, network and security, elastic IPs, placement groups, key pairs, network interfaces. So the same way, a load balancing, target groups, auto scaling groups. These are the attributes in the EC2 instance. You can go through it, guys. Okay.
Okay.
So from tomorrow there is no class. Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there is no class. So day after tomorrow we have. So something like I will show you next. From next we will start. Yeah, from next we will start either IAM or S3. Okay, I will show you what is IAM and what is S3.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys can launch the instances, right?
Okay.
Yeah, IAM. What is IAM? Introduction to management of IAM. Understanding IAM, creating, managing users, managing and user passwords, creation and managing roles, understanding and managing policy, understanding multi-factor authentication, user login process. So we will show it on day after tomorrow. Okay, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be so nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Looking
Thank you.
forward to.
Now you
Okay,
got it
bye-bye.
right. What is the picture of EC2?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.